Hello, Wildcats. It's your boy Kev coming at you like like the movie The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, because that movie also sucks, just like this podcast. But for those of you that are sticking around to listen, this is a little disclaimer for you, just letting you know that we are a comedy and crime podcast. So even though we do cover many serious events and true cases, we do like to throw in some inappropriate jokes and some dirty, dark humor every now and then. So if you don't like to mix comedy and crime, which we completely understand, this is not the podcast for you. But thank you for at least checking us out and, being a pretty cool guy, pretty cool girl, pretty cool cat. Also, Toys R Us is expected to be resurrected with 6 stores and an e-commerce site. I just read that. So that's good news for you guys and girls that like to go to Toys R Us to buy Nerf guns like I do. And also, a little bonus disclaimer, some of the quality on this episode isn't that great. Tooth joined us like halfway through the episode, and his Audacity file kind of fudged up on him a little bit, so his audio isn't really perfect. It's not super bad, but just a heads up for it. So alrighty, thank you everyone for listening. Be good, stay safe, and laugh at the dark stuff. # Wildman.
Alright, fellas, like we practiced.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4.
Come on down, hanging with the brothers tonight, yeah. Come on down to the Brotherscommon.place tonight.
Alrighty, welcome everyone to the Brotherscommon.place, a comedy and crime podcast where we cover monsters, murders, mysteries, and more. And before we jump into today's topic, I want y'all to meet my pink and red Starburst buddies.
Ooh, nice. What's going on, guys? This is Tim. And wait, hang on a second. We have an issue here. There's no snare. I have no snare in my headphones.
Yo, where's my snare? I know it's Eminem, but I can't remember the song.
It's cleaning out my closet.
Oh, yeah. We used to always say that.
Yeah. I only added that in for like a little laugh because my opening's not very funny. But Kev, you should at least kind of laugh. But what's going on, guys? This is Tim, or Chris Gaines, as I call myself every time I step on a scale.
Dude, anything with Chris Gaines is going to make me laugh.
Yeah, that was for you, because I'm guaranteeing that most people don't know who the fuck that is. But that's just Garth Brooks' like alter ego.
Dude, a.k.a. My God. Okay.
Yo, what up? This is Spence, and when I get out of the shower in the morning and I'm combing down my crazy hair,
Ooh.
I say I'm knocking down the freak.
Oh, Spence, no. You know I can't use that.
Oh, man. Oh.
Well, you could use the yo, this is Spence.
That is true. Maybe I'll just bleep out like the next 12 seconds. It'll probably make it funny.
Bleep, bleep, bleep.
Yeah, it should be good.
And it's your boy Kev, a.k.a. the Dirty Dog. My name is Kevin. That is my name.
Yeah.
They call me Kevin.
Yeah.
Because that's my name.
Roll call. Fuck yeah, dude. That shit's so good.
Thanks, guys. Hell yeah.
Problem.
We've been talking about The Office a lot lately.
It's the best show ever made.
So I just want to give a quick thank you before we start. One, on all the people that sent me congratulations. That was super cool and very nice of y'all. And also everyone that messaged me and asking about my dad and saying they were sending prayers. That was all super cool and very nice. So thank you everyone for that. That was really awesome. That was cool.
Thanks a lot, guys.
You guys are the best.
Yeah. Anything you want to mention before we jump into this?
No, never mind. I was gonna crack like an Evil Dad joke or Evil Dead joke, but call it like Evil Dad, and like your dad's just like evil now and like killing like demons. But
oh shit,
I didn't have anything to go with it though. It was gonna be Evil Dad, but I have nothing.
The
to
Evil
go.
Dad.
Yeah, I have nothing to go with it now. Like all the prayers made him do that. That was all I had.
No,
Like
stop
that,
it.
That was
Stop.
that was my joke.
Stop setting the prayers. You're making them too strong.
He's killing all the demons now.
Somehow he learned all the poker moves in the Cryptonomicon or whatever the thing's called.
Fuck
the
yeah.
Necronomicon.
He already fucking knew those poker moves, all right?
Like, they don't know how he did it because he did it to himself, but it's just like the scene in Face Off when Nick Cage wakes up without his face and he
yeah.
kills everyone.
Hell yeah.
He does that.
Fuck yeah. But he becomes Andrew.
Oh, yes. So, alrighty, today we are going to be covering a case that has been requested a few times now. A case that kind of reminds me of my mother, only because we used to watch this movie a lot back in the day when I was growing up.
It really is a good movie.
A movie that starred Jennifer Lopez. And no, we are not talking about the blockbuster classic Geely. Today we are covering the sad murder of singer, songwriter, and many, many more talents, Selena.
I never watched Geely or Jiggly or whatever the fuck it's called. Is it Geely?
It's Geely. It's fucking
It looks
garbage.
like it looks like Jiggly, right? Or Giggly or something.
Yeah, okay.
Isn't it like-
You want to know what it is on IMDb?
It's got to be like a 0. Oh, you talking about like the
2.4.
Oh fuck, Jesus.
I don't know if I've seen anything below 2 on IMDb.
Yeah, except Chili Cartel.
Yeah. Wait, is it on there?
I wish.
Dude,
That'd be amazing.
It needs to be.
So just a heads up on this one before we start. There is so much out there about Selena, and we can't mention every little detail on her life. Otherwise, this would be like a 5-hour-long episode. And like we always say, if you are interested in more about this case, then do some reading, do some research, and if you find out any other cool shit, then tweet us those deets. But yeah, there's
sure.
definitely a lot of information on this. So
Speaking of research, I actually just looked up. Chili Cartel is on IMDb. And I was looking at my own filmography, and it kind of sucks because like they got it wrong. Because I was only in Chili Cartel. I did not play the mom from What's Eating Gilbert Grape. So just cut that one out. I that wasn't actually me, guys.
it's all right.
Wait, weren't you the daughter in Hereditary, though?
Let me Google this before I fuck it up. Yes, I did. I was the dad on Seventh Heaven.
Seventh Kevin.
You know,
Oh fuck yes, hell yeah!
I just Googled TV dad molester,
nice.
and it knew exactly what I wanted.
Popped up. Like, oh, we know what this guy's going for.
So as far as Selena goes, she was a very fun girl. She was absolutely beautiful, stunning, gorgeous. She seemed like she was always having fun, and she was extremely talented. Now, as far as our sources go, we used the Selena Gunned Down documentary, as well as the 2020 Selena's Killer, biography.com, hiplatina.com, which is just my personal website. I was just joking. Notablebiographies.com, CNN, and a few others, but those were the main ones. And then also an apology to all of our Spanish-speaking listeners, because I'm going to fuck up probably about 80% of the words and pronunciations I have this episode.
Oh, for sure. If any of the Spanish stuff is like counting from 1 to 10, I got your back.
¿Por qué? But why?
So Selena, a.k.a. the queen of Tejano music, and sometimes even referred to as the Mexican Madonna, she was born April 16th, 1971, and her birth name was Selena, I'm going to fuck it up, Quintanilla.
Wait, Celine Quintilli?
It sounds so much like our friend Celine Quintilli, who actually was at the very end of last episode. She said #Wildman. So
Nice.
But yeah, so birth name Selena Quintanilla. Fuck, I don't know what it is, guys. But she was born in Lake Jackson, Texas. Now, in case you were wondering what Tejano music is, since she was known as the queen of Tejano music, according to the wiki page, Tejano music, sometimes referred to as Tex-Mex music, which of course is Texan Mexican music, that is from various forms of folk and popular music originating among the Mexican-American populations of central and southern Texas. And Tejano music also combines sounds from these traditions as well as other popular... Tejano music also combines... Oh my God. Tejano music also combines sounds from these traditions as well as other popular U.S. influences such as rock, country, and pop. Whew, that took me a while to get through. And those are fucking English words. So...
Kev, I don't think any of us could have done any better.
No, not at all.
And speaking of Tejano music, guess who one of the greatest Tejano musicians of all time was?
Carlos Santana?
No, but we are on the right track. Emilio Rivera, the father of our Bash Brothers in the last Bandoleros.
Oh, hell yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he helped popularize that shit. Like, he was a legit musical pioneer when it comes to this. So
That's amazing.
Wow.
rest in peace to Emilio. I don't know a whole lot about him.
Wildman.
Hashtag Wildman. Yeah, fuck yeah. But based on his songs and videos I watched of his on YouTube, he was incredibly talented, charismatic, and loved by so many people. Like, he was just so much fucking fun. Like, if you just watch any of the videos of him online, he's always having a blast and just loving what he does. And I've never seen a crowd react to a performer like they did to him.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
You can just tell he was just loved. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Shout
And
out.
it's very cool that they are fans of us. And we are definitely fans of them.
Yeah, fuck yeah. And if you want to check out Emilio's two sons, their badass band, the Last Bandoleros, they are just super badass, super rad. They've been really awesome and incredibly nice to us. They're amazing.
Yeah, we don't deserve those guys.
No, we really don't. We got lucky when somehow they found our podcast. Because if you enjoy our closing jam at the end of the episodes, you have them to thank for it. We got the Bash Brothers, Emilio and Diego, that performed that song for us. So special thanks to them for being super awesome. And
For sure.
yeah, I'm going to quit splooging about these guys now. And one last thank you to Emilio and Diego just for all the friends and family that they have introduced the podcast to. Like, every now and then I'll see someone add us on Instagram and I'll see that, oh, they're related to or they're friends with them, and it just means that they were supporting the show and showing it to them. So that means a lot to us, and we really don't
That's super
deserve
awesome.
that. So,
No, we suck. We're not even funny. But yeah, that's pretty awesome.
like, that entire family is so fucking talented. So
We really do need to give them more love.
we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So back to Selena. Selena's parents, they were named Abraham Jr. and Marcela Quintanilla. Her father was a Mexican-American, and her mother was part Cherokee. I paused because after I said Mexican-American, I kind of thought you were going to go into it, Tim.
Mexican Americans.
Don't like to get up early in the morning.
They have to, so they do it real slow.
Dude, it's so good.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking.
So Selena's father, he was already into music and playing in bands before Selena was even born. And Abraham Jr., he was actually leading a band in the 1950s and 1960s, and they played early rock and roll with a little bit of traditional Mexican music mixed in. This, of course, being the Tejano music style we mentioned a little bit earlier. However, Abraham would give up the band and music career. And why, you may ask? Because he apparently listened to Guile after a beatdown, and he decided to go home and be a family man.
Oh,
It's so stupid that made me laugh.
fuck that.
I almost
That's
couldn't
not
get
what
through it.
happened.
So old Abe, honest Abraham Jr., and his lovely wife Marcella, they would have 3 children, Selena being the youngest. And so the children grew up about 50 or so miles south of Houston, and they quickly found a love for music just like their father. And now Abraham Jr., he was starting to teach his boy, Abraham III, which was Selena's older brother, how to play guitar. A lot of fucking Abrahams in this family. And during those teachings, Selena would sometimes join in and sing, and she had an amazing voice for only being 6 years old at the time. And so Abraham II decided, hey, let's go ahead and keep on practicing every day, keep on keeping on, and then let's start a family band.
What was the girls that we did the podcast on?
Dude,
that were really super creepy?
I was just about to make a joke about that. I was about
Yeah,
to
what were
say, and that band would be known as the Shags.
The Shags.
No, that
Was
is
that- that
obviously a joke. But yeah, we did a bonus
That was a bonus
Patreon
one, yeah.
episode on the Shags. And what they were is they were a family band. It was 3 daughters who the dad had this like dream that he thought was supposed to happen. So he forced
weird.
these daughters to pretty much quit school and join this and form a band. But none of them knew how to play instruments and none of them really wanted to do it. And they recorded an album. And it's 3 girls who don't know how to play instruments, and it's so just awful and amazing at the same time.
It really is. It's like hauntingly beautiful.
Yeah, it's weird. But yeah, if you want to hear that episode, you can sign up for Patreon for $1 and check it out. It's pretty good.
Or do you just listen to the Shags too? I mean,
That's true. Or just we're pretty much. Oh, I think I already made that joke that we're the Shags version of podcasts.
oh fuck yeah.
So alrighty. So a quote from Selena's father. Quote: "Her timing, her pitch were perfect. I could see it from day one." So a lot of high praise from him. And that was when Selena was 6. So around the late 70s. And now we're going to fast forward to 1980. Selena's father decided to open up a restaurant with the name of Papagayos.
Okay.
All right. I told you guys, I thought I told you I wasn't going to mention my father anymore this podcast, but
Holy shit.
I'm just fucking with you. I love you, Daddy-O. He's, I guess I didn't mention it, but yeah, he's doing good. He's at home recovering now, so.
Hell yeah, Kimster.
So Selena's father, he opens up this restaurant that he called Papagayos. I'm sure it's GAYO''S. I'm sure it's, I don't know. And
That's pretty gayos.
he's like, when he gets, okay, it was going to be a Thanos joke, but it was Gayos instead. But it's not worth it. So since he opens up that restaurant, he instead of a gauntlet, it's one of those dragon dildos.
Oh fuck.
Oh shit. But since he opened up that family restaurant, he decides, I'm gonna have the family band play here on weekends, and that moved on up to special events like weddings and parties. Since it was Papagayos, they also hosted live podcasts by the Hermanos Commonplace. Or Commonplace de Hermanos. I don't know which one it would be.
Yeah, dude. Hell yes.
Actually, I did look up the word commonplace in Spanish, and according to Google Translate, the Spanish word for commonplace is vulgar.
Oh, nice.
So maybe we should call ourselves Vulgar Hermanos.
Ooh. We normally just open up for Ricky Martin. We could just pretty much say that that's what we
That's true, but that was back in the Menudo days. we're like Menudo, but with zero sex appeal.
I mean, I don't know. Two's got some.
Wait, weren't Menudo just kids? Let me look that up before I make a joke about sex appeal.
Nope, leave it in.
Well, I didn't know Menudo was a type of soup. I thought it was only, here, let me type in Menudo sexy boys on Google, see what pops up. Oh, there we go. Hell yeah. Little Ricky Martin. Anyways, okay, where were we? For real, though, the band that Selena and her family had, it was called Selena y los Dinos, which... I know it's Selena and I don't know what Dinos means. Dinos. Selena and the Dinos.
It's short for dinosaur.
I think it has to be Selena and the Dinosaurs. But according to some sources, they call it Selena and the Boys.
They've got Triceratops and Stegosaurus.
But regardless, Selena, she would now be 10 years old and the lead singer of the family band. So that's pretty badass. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. Good job.
And just in case you didn't think 10-year-old Selena was enough of a badass, her father was writing the songs to the band, but he was writing them all in Spanish. And Selena, her first language is English. So this is how she learned Spanish. Like she would learn how to sing the songs, the words of the song without knowing exactly what they meant. And then that helped her learn Spanish. And she had to learn like each word, like syllable by syllable, so that she could sing them clearly. So that's pretty cool. That's rad.
Yeah, it really is.
However, much like the disaster transport at Cedar Point, that good fun ride would come to an end.
Oh man.
Holy shit.
I missed the line. Just waiting in line for that ride.
Just wait in line to go down a dark slide.
Dude, the fucking walk to the ride, like once you get inside the building of disaster transport, that walk is just longer than the line.
One time we tried to convince Kevin's ex-girlfriend that they filmed the show Power Rangers there. And we tried for a fucking while. like we were acting like we were pissed. Like they fucking clearly filmed it here.
Dude, she used to believe a lot of shit. One time me and Mark convinced her I had a cousin named Steve Biffler.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And all we did was just literally
Stifler?
go through every American Pie movie, everything he
Just
did.
Stifler?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And she's like, wow, your cousin did this, Mark? And then eventually at the end, we're like, we're fucking lying, dude. We've been lying for weeks. It's just American Pie.
One time at Cedar Point, it might be the same time. Me and Mark were like standing just above on these stairs, just above these kids. I think was it you too, Kev, where we
Yeah,
kept
we
farting
kept
on those
farting.
kids?
That kid
Yeah,
was
every one of us just farted in these kids' faces.
that kid was standing there like fucking Pac-Man, flapping his gums while we were just farting into him.
And the fucked up thing, dude, it's fucked up, but that kid became Barack Obama. So I mean, we might have done that, honestly.
Yeah, dude. And what really fucked up is he was holding his birth certificate in his hands and we farted it away. And that's why we can't find it.
That's how it got lost.
We farted it into the catfish pond.
Yeah. We all true stories, all true shit.
So even though the family band had a decent fan base in the local area, the restaurant didn't really do that well and it would eventually get closed down. So sadly, the family, they declared bankruptcy and they would get evicted from their home. But not to be discouraged, Abraham Jr. packed up the family and moved them out to Corpus Christi, Texas to start anew. #Wildman. And not all was bad because of this, though. Like the band, they continued on. They would be touring around and playing, and they even got to open for a popular Tejano act called Maz. I think that's what it's called. And I'm not 100% if this is the correct band, but I listened to Vuelve Conmigo, that's probably not how you pronounce it, by a band called Maz on YouTube, and it was pretty rad. I dug it. Tejano has a lot of cool music. Like when I mentioned Emilio, I legit listened to over an hour of his shit the other day, just watching all of his live videos on there because he's such a good performer. It was badass. Oh, and you even got to see his sons playing on there when they were younger, playing some drums and shit. Yeah, playing
That's
guitar
amazing.
on there.
Hell yeah.
That's cool.
For a second, I was going to ask if it was like an underrated wrestler from Cleveland. I was going to say that's The Miz.
So Selena, by the age of 11, she's playing all over, playing in front of large crowds, and she started playing in bigger cities. And the band, they would learn different styles of music too, so that whenever they play down in Texas, they can play their standard style of Tejano music. But if they were to play in like bigger, larger cities, they might add in some rhythm and blues or some more rock to it. So that's pretty cool. They were playing to the crowds, and that really did them well because they were starting to gain some popularity.
Absolutely.
And I didn't always see this listed, so I'm not positive, but some sources said she dropped out of school to make money through music. I know she eventually would get her diploma, but some sources mentioned that she dropped out, so figured I'd mention that. And now we're going to jump ahead some. In 1988, Selena, she became so popular that she was voted the Female Artist of the Year at the Tejano Music Awards, and she would continue to win this award for the next 7 years. So that's pretty impressive.
Holy shit.
She would unfortunately lose out, and she would not receive the Artist of the Millennium Award. You remember that?
That's Michael Jackson, right?
Yeah. I think we've mentioned that before. But just in case you don't know what we're talking about, there was, I don't even know, it was on MTV, I think, but Britney Spears, they were trying to honor Michael Jackson for like his birthday or something, and she refers to him as, she's like, in my eyes, he's the artist of the millennium. It was just like a throwaway compliment. And then Michael Jackson gets up there and gives his big speech. He's like, I had no idea that I'd be receiving the Artist of the Millennium Award. And it's not even a real award, and everyone just fucking goes with it.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And it sucks. He almost like, never mind. It was just going to be a joke about how he like almost dropped the Artist of the Millennium Award off a balcony. But it's not even funny. And as far as Selena winning that award for the next 7 years, that might not have been all she won either, because some sources also mention that, quote, at the 1987 Tejano Music Awards, she won both Best Female Vocalist and Performer of the Year. So I don't know the exact details, but it just sounds like she's winning a lot of shit. And then Selena, she was 17 years old when she signed a 1-year contract with Coca-Cola, and that was for $75,000. So That's pretty fucking badass. Imagine being 17 and getting that. And since she was known for doing both English and Spanish language adverts, she's just becoming so popular because she's making good music. She has like a good character. People really like her. She's doing English and Spanish. So, yeah, the media loved her. So now we come to 1989. Selena, she's now 18 years old, which is perfect time for her to join EMI Records. So that's right, she gets signed to a major record company at 18 years old. And EMI Records, they had just started a new Latin music division, and what better way to help kickstart that than with the Female Artist of the Year at the Tejano Music Awards.
That's really true. She actually turned down the TUF. A lot of people don't know this. His was the TMI Records.
Some T to the fourth power Y records.
Some time to talk to you. I understood it, Priscilla.
So like we said, she's getting more and more popular each day, and not just with Tejano music and Tejano music fans, but she's appealing and reaching a wide audience now. Quote, her 1990 album, Ven Conmigo, was the first Tejano record to achieve gold record status, meaning that it sold more than 500,000 copies.
Jesus.
Tommy just sold 500,000 brake pads from Tommy Boy. And in 1991, she would join Alvaro Torres and release a song titled Buenos Amigos. Does that mean good boys? Good. What's amigos? I forget. Good friends?
I think good friends.
Good friends?
Yeah, probably good friends. Yeah.
Something like that. And that would become a pretty big hit. And by a pretty big hit, we mean that it went #1 on Billboard's Latin chart.
Jesus.
And of course, having a #1 hit on the charts, her already increasing popularity was even more widespread over the United States, and soon, almost everyone was familiar with Selena's music. Also, the TUF just signed on.
The TUF!
So let's get
He's the Toofski.
Let's get the fucking TUFster in here.
Hey, what up? It's the master of the turtle tuck, the Toof.
Oh, fuck yeah.
That's it.
Do you want to tell him what the turtle tuck is?
The turtle tuck is is something we used to do to people that fell asleep at our house. It is a inflatable pool turtle, like raft, that we did not have air in it. It was all flat, and I would put it on like a cape and then pull my pants down with my penis and balls tucked between my legs, showing a mangina, and I would pose next to that sleeping person, manginaed up.
And they would post these on Facebook. But Toof, I noticed
God
when
damn.
you began to tell that story, you used the word we.
There are multiple people who have tucked before. There is
Oh, fuck yeah.
the turtle tuck does come with a little bit of guilt and shame, but the most embarrassing and shameful tuck is the Twan tuck. It is when our friend Anthony would tuck you, and that is the
Oh, yeah.
that is the most shameful, most dishonorable death you could possibly have.
That is understandable, yeah.
I don't want to just hop into the podcast and become sexist immediately, but goddamn, what a fucking babe too.
Yeah. Oh no, she's gorgeous.
She was attractive for sure, yeah.
She's super fine, super talented, just a badass girl.
Not just the worm at the bottom of the tequila bottle stiff on me, God.
Oh come on, dude. And I think Toof is allowed to say that every time he makes racist comments or something where I'm not sure if that's allowed. I do like to mention he is half Mexican, so like I feel like that somehow we're allowed to say that. Then
It's weird because Toof is actually half Mexican, half Rocky Dennison. It's just fucked up. That's just good for math.
fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah. So it's pretty awesome.
And after much success, Selena, she would take a break in 1992 so that she could marry.
He's a real closer.
Yeah, Chris Perez, professional baseball player and right-handed pitcher for the Cleveland Indians.
That's not him at all.
No, that's not really him. His name is Chris Perez, though.
Yeah.
But he was the lead guitarist in her band.
Did you mention anything about Coca-Cola yet?
Yeah, you want to mention something else, though?
Dude, the fact that Coca-Cola wants you to become one of their spokespeople is fucking huge. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't get any bigger than the fucking polar bears, dude.
Yeah,
And they
really
were the fucking number one attraction, and she's up there with them. Congrats.
Yeah.
Did you see how old she was too during that too? 17.
Oh wow, Jesus.
And she was far from in between.
That's right. So congrats to Selena and Chris Perez. And after the wedding, she and Perez, they started their music back up again. Where does, okay, back to the other Perez, the baseball player. Where does he play now?
AAA probably, right?
Because he's not on
dude,
the Indians.
I honestly don't even know if he's alive anymore, to be honest with you. But like, it's God damn it, this is just going to be somehow a joke about him getting the runs.
Oh fuck yeah, dude!
I had fucking nothing. He got horrible for a while. He really did.
Yeah.
But yeah, he probably doesn't pitch anymore at all. I wouldn't think so.
Alrighty, so I do have a big quote to read before I do that. Does anyone have anything they want to mention?
No, I don't think so.
What did I see in here? Perez's father. Wait. Someone's father is named Quesadilla Jr.
Yeah, I should have known where this was going. Let's see. Abraham Jr. His last name, I can't pronounce it either. I fucked it up 100 times, but I didn't say quesadilla because I'm not an asshole.
Quintanilla.
Yes, that's how I would have said it.
Okay.
All right. So Selena's father, he was now writing more international sounding songs for her, and this is just a quote, word for word. These new songs were not only popular in Mexico, but also began to be heard throughout the United States and in South and Central America. The size of the audiences at her shows swelled. In February 1994, more than 60,000 people saw her perform in Houston. In March 1994, her album Selena Live won a Grammy Award for the Best Mexican-American Album. Selena's growing fame also increased record sales. In July 1994, Selena released Amor Prohibido. The album would sell more than 1 million copies. It was the top-selling Latin album of that year. It also was named the Tejano Music Awards Album of the Year. So
That would
yeah.
be Forbidden Love in English, right?
I don't know.
Amor Prohibido.
That sounds...
Forbidden Love.
Damn, that sounds...
Fucking Marilyn Manson song. No, that's Tainted Love. Okay.
No, that's Dope Show. And that's just about that Jeff Hardy and Sting match.
Damn it. I think you were going to say
Fuck
that.
yeah.
That's what they used to call Chris Perez's pitching.
MLB The Dope Show. You can only play as Chris Perez.
Hell yes. Hell fuck.
And you have to bat as Shelley Duncan.
And that's the only person that Chris Perez could strike out.
Like, it's the fucking best pitcher in the world, man. I do want to cut into the episode. Zion Williamson just went first overall, guys.
What?
Shock.
I'm done. I'm done with the NBA then.
I feel bad for the Carnell family. They thought their son Andrew was going to go number 1. He still has a good shot of going number 2, so we'll have to find out. Oh, wait. Andrew does go number 2 every day.
So he's going number 2 right now.
Oh, come on, guys. That's your joke. Wait, he does go number 2 every day. Like, that's a bird.
That's what we got.
So Selena's success, all this is good and all, and it's awesome. She's having a ton of success with their music. It's getting heard all over. But she wanted something a little different. She was still performing Spanish songs and wanted to record an album that was all in her first language of English. And part of the reason was because she was often being compared to Madonna or Janet Jackson, Mariah Carey, or other English recording artists. So she wanted to show that she could record an English album and be just as successful as well. So she just wanted to show that she could do that too. She's getting compared to him, so she wanted to prove that she deserved to be listed up there. And in 1993, Selena was moved to either a different record company or a different branch of it. I'm not really sure. But this one, it was mostly English language records, and so she now began recording English songs for a new album that she was working on. But sadly, that album would be released on July 18th, 1995, and Selena, she would not be around to enjoy the success of that album. So here is just a quote from Wiki, because once I read it, you'll see why I didn't feel the need to change it up any, because it's mostly just numbers and facts. So this is in regards to her English album that would come out after Selena was sadly not living anymore. And here's a quote from the wiki. It was an immediate commercial and critical success, debuting atop the United States Billboard 200, the first predominantly Spanish language album to do so. It sold 175,000 copies on its first day of release in the US, a then record for a female vocalist. With first week sales of 331,000 units, it became the second highest first week sales of a female musician since Nielsen SoundScan began monitoring album sales in 91. Billboard magazine declared it a historic event, while Time said the recording elevated Selena's music to a wider audience. It won Album of the Year at the 1996 Tejano Music Awards and Female Pop Album of the Year at the 3rd Annual Billboard Latin Music Awards. So, alrighty, before we go any further, we're going to introduce a new character in this story, a woman by the name of Yolanda Saldivar.
Dude, no.
Yo, order the salad bar. Hey, what you gonna have to eat? Did you order the salad bar? That's not even funny. That's just me making a racist voice.
It's like a New York guy. Hey, Tim, was there a fucking Indians pitcher named that too?
Name what?
Fuck.
Yeah, Danny Salazar. Yeah, I mean, he still plays for us.
The Indians and fucking Selena's story are so intertwined, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, because wait till you hear about Selena climbing through the ceiling to go get that fucking bat.
That's how she got her Grammy. And her grandma was fine.
Oh, I was just about to make that joke. Damn you, too. I love you. So, alrighty, Yolanda Saldivar. She was a former nurse that received her registered nursing license in 1991 from the Texas Board of Nurse Examiners. And on top of that, she was a huge fan of Selena and her music. And after attending one of Selena's concerts, she began to call Selena's father Abraham just over and over, just completely and repeatedly dialing that phone to get through to him. And why would she do this, you may ask? Any guesses?
She was horny, baby.
Oh, baby, me so horny, baby.
That is really my guess, though.
All right, any other guesses?
Booty call.
She was trying to call. Fuck it. What was the old movie thing you used to call to like rent movies off of it?
Oh, like movie phone, maybe?
Not movie phone, was it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be movie phone. and she was trying to watch Wayne's World. That's all I got.
So Yolanda, the reason for her calling Selena's father constantly over and over was because she desperately wanted to make love to a schoolboy.
Fuck yeah.
She wanted to start a fan club in San Antonio for Selena. So she wanted to get the okay for that.
Okay, you know what? That's actually kind of wholesome. Because, she could have just did the scumbag route and just started it anyway. Yeah. But it's actually nice to let them know, hey,
yeah,
I want to start this. She has fans.
And
yeah, nobody asked Nicolas Cage if he wanted us to put his face on everything with Photoshop. That was kind of a dick move on the internet's part.
That is
Was it
true.
though? Was it?
I don't know, man. Did you see The Sorcerer's Apprentice?
No one did.
No, I haven't. But also, that's not right now either.
And after probably getting annoyed by the phone calls for the 1,000th time, Abraham Jr. finally gives in and said, sure, you can start a fan club. And so Yolanda, she would not only be running this fan club, but she would soon become president of the fan club and then even would get promoted to manager of Selena's clothing boutiques and fashion shows. So she goes from being a fan to starting this fan club to actually getting promoted to business operations and shit for her. So she quits being a nurse and starts doing fashion shows and shit for Selena full time.
Man, she sounds like one hell of a super fan. Sounds like she could cool off a lot of people.
Okay, no, that was all right. I liked it.
Yes.
Wait, is it?
That was the hokiest of jokes.
It was cute.
I didn't get it.
Like
super
a fan.
fan.
Like a fan.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
By 1993, the fan club had reached 1,500 members in less than 4 years, and it would eventually grow to over 5,000 people. And so that is just like the San Antonio one. So that's pretty badass. She's hustling and working her way up, showing that anything is possible when you put your mind to it and you don't give up.
So without the internet, this crazy bitch did it better than we have with our podcast.
Yeah, easily.
Fuck. Do we even have 200 likes on Facebook?
So do we just need to keep calling people and then eventually kill them?
Hey, what's up, guys? Wait, spoiler alert, dude.
What are you talking about?
Well, it's my bad. Do we need to just keep calling people?
Are you Sarah Connor? I don't know why.
Hey, Cameron from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. He'll keep calling me. No, you know what? I'll go. God damn it.
Here's a quote about Selena's boutiques. Quote, in 1994, Selena had opened Selena Etc. boutiques in San Antonio and Corpus Christi. The stores sold original clothes and jewelry, as well as offering salon services. By 1995, the boutiques were experiencing financial setbacks, but this didn't change Selena's desire to open a clothing factory in Monterrey, Mexico. DeAndre Hunter just went fourth. Sorry, I guess.
Nice. That just came out of nowhere.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I got the draft going on, too.
I could throw on my deletable anyway. When you said Corpus Christi, I was like, oh, Corpus Stork, bitch.
Yeah. We used to work with a girl named Christy who looked like the pickle stork, and she was a bitch. Hence the name Stork
deletable.
bitch.
Okay, never mind.
This is staying in. What are you talking about? She's not going to fucking listen.
Yeah, her fuck ain't gonna listen.
Well, now it's getting taken out.
He was on an episode. He's been on one.
Oh, man. Still ain't gonna listen.
I mean, not of this podcast, but still a Brothers Commonplace.
So in the spring of 1995, Selena, she's at the height of her career now. Yolanda's work with the fan club and boutique, however, had earned the family's trust, and that's why she kept getting promoted and was giving more opportunities were offered to her. But like we mentioned, there were some financial setbacks, some missing money, and things like that. Quote, and then Selena's father heard complaints from fan club members about not receiving items that they had paid for. And on March 9th in 1995, Selena, her father, and sister confronted Yolanda about her management, but she reportedly couldn't explain away the irregularities that Selena's family had found. Selena next delved into Yolanda's behavior and actions at her boutique. She was reportedly told that some of her employees suspected that she had been taking money from the San Antonio store. And I'm not sure if this next part is 100% or not. I did see some sources say that in early March 1995, Yolanda would be fired. Some sources don't mention it, and I think later on in an interview, Yolanda would say that she didn't want to work there anymore or something. I don't know. She lies about literally everything, but
yeah,
it is possible that this is when Yolanda got fired.
What? Man.
So I have a pretty horrible joke,
Hey,
but
well, I guess hard work doesn't pay off.
Yeah, exactly. In the movie version of this, they actually use the scene from Waterboy, which definitely came out later. But we're just gonna still act like this happens. But they use the scene from Waterboy when Waterboy gets fired, and the coach goes, "Hey, Waterboy, you're fired," and they use that. But he looks at the girl. He says, "Hey, Yolanda, Uganda." Fucking dumb.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
But imagine that same guy doing that.
You know, this isn't the only thing that Yolanda has been called out and lost for. I mean, she lost that MTV show, too.
Yeah.
Yo Mama.
Yolanda, Jesus, Toof.
Yeah.
You know, that was not any worse than mine was, all right?
And although Selena, she no longer wanted to work with Yolanda, she didn't completely cut ties with her. She trusted her enough to give her access to financial accounts. And Selena, she did discover important financial records were missing. And so she was telling Yolanda, I need these to be returned. So even though she's not really working together, she's not completely cutting her out of her life. And they said like Selena, she had a really big heart and she trusted a lot of people and she would always try to see the good in people. So that kind of backfired on her sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a quote that was from Chris Perez later on about a memoir that he wrote in 2012. Quote, in his 2012 memoir about his life with Selena, Perez wrote that Selena met Yolanda around March 15th in an attempt to get her missing paperwork. During this encounter, which took place in Selena's car, Yolanda apparently gave her some of the documents, but didn't give her everything. And then she showed Selena that she had a gun in her purse.
He was reported as saying that like whole encounter was a swing and a miss.
And according to Perez's accounts, an unfazed Selena told Yolanda to return the gun, and she seemed to have listened to the singer. Though she'd purchased the .38 caliber weapon on March 11th and picked it up on March 13th after a background check, soon after the meeting with Selena, she was said to have taken the revolver back to the store.
Do you guys know what happened on March 11th? Like a really long time afterwards. All right.
Fuck yeah, dude. You know how many people died that day?
I can't remember.
Chili,
10,000 or
it's
something
just
like that.
Chili
Yeah.
Cartel.
Choir Chili incident.
So now we are at March 30th, 1995. Yolanda, she called Selena from a Days Inn in Corpus Christi, and she told her that she had the rest of the documents that she needed, but she would have to come over and get them. So Selena, she didn't receive all the needed documents in previous meetings that she had with her. So this is why Yolanda is like, well, if you come over and meet me at the Days Inn, the room I'm in, I can give you the rest of them. So Chris Perez, he goes with her to the Days Inn. And while there, Yolanda, she told Selena that she was raped and beaten during a recent trip to Mexico. And so Selena, she of course feels horrible for her and offered to take her to the hospital the next day, to which Yolanda thanked her and agreed. And so now we come to the following day, March 31st, and at 9 a.m., Selena, so this just fucking shows just how sweet of a girl and nice of a person Selena is. This lady has just been embezzling thousands of dollars from you and just pretty much been really shitty to you. You trusted her and everything. She's pretty much shit all over that. And she tells a story about how she was raped and beaten, and she just completely forgets about it and takes her to the hospital. You know, she's just a good person.
She's a good chick.
Yeah.
Hashtag wild woman.
So Selena, she takes Yolanda to the hospital, and it turns out that there were no signs of any alleged sexual aggression. And turns out that maybe Yolanda was actually lying about being raped and beaten. So they give Yolanda her clothes back in a paper bag, and her and Selena, they return back to the Days Inn, riding in Selena's blue Chevy pickup.
Now, I probably take it that Selena wasn't in the hospital room with her when they gave her the, I don't know if you call it rape exam or whatever.
I don't.
So would Selena not know the results?
She might have been in there.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't know exactly how they do that. Or maybe she was just, I have no idea.
Okay. Because I was wondering if she just lied to her. She's like, yep, I was raped. We'll figure this out later.
I mean, that's highly possible. Yeah.
And the day before, Chris Perez, he took her to the Days Inn, and it would come out later that he didn't know Selena was going back the next day. He's like, if I would have known that, I would have gone with her, of course. But he didn't know that's where she was going.
Okay.
Yeah.
So back in room 158 at the motel, Selena and Yolanda, they begin to yell at each other and argue very loudly. And everyone hears this. Like a bunch of people at the hotel they hear them yelling and shouting. And Selena, she asked Yolanda for the rest of the documents, to which Yolanda would later claim that she already gave over everything. Which, even though that's the whole reason she came over the day before was to get the rest of it, it's like important financial shit. She would know if she had it all or not, you know? And then here is Yolanda's quote about this.
This is kind of weird, not to cut you off, but it is kind of weird that she is dealing with all this shit firsthand. I would always assume that if you're decently famous, you would just have a team of fucking people, secretaries and interns handling all this shit.
Yeah.
But I guess it is a slight different time too.
And here's a quote from Yolanda about what was going on right here. Quote, "We both argued because I wanted to quit working for her. I gave her everything that I had, the cellular phone and the bank files as we argued." So she mentions there They were arguing because she wanted to quit working for her, and she already gave her, like, here's my cell phone, here's all the bank files. But everything says she already had gotten fired before this. So I don't know if she's just making that up to sound better.
Yeah, probably.
But the briefcase with all the documents, that's sitting on the floor of the motel room. So Selena, she grabs the briefcase and she heads for the door, which was open. So that's how everyone knew they were yelling and shit, because the door was open. So Selena, she's like, fine, I've had enough. She grabs the briefcase and she goes to leave. And that's when Yolanda takes a revolver out of her bag and she shoots Selena in the back with it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she shoots her with a .38 caliber hollow head bullet from a Taurus revolver from an estimated distance of 2 feet away. And the bullet, it went in her back and came out in her upper right chest area.
With the door open.
Yes.
What is it?
Yeah, so everybody saw that shit.
Is this a fucking scene from Bad Times at the El Royale? Jesus Christ.
And Selena, she is fucking tough as shit. So she just got shot. She runs out. She continues to run out of the room. She's bleeding. She's in pain. As she's running away, she first drops the briefcase. Then she drops the cell phone. And then eventually, while she's running across the parking lot, she drops her own bag. And she runs all the way from one side of the motel to the other and makes it into the lobby. And according to the documentary, she ran 130 yards after getting shot.
Jesus.
It's that adrenaline, baby.
Yeah. And she runs into the lobby asking for help, saying she's been shot. And then she says, Yolanda, room 158, and then faints. So the fact that, just the fact that she could run all the way there and get that out is insane. Like, that's crazy.
Was she shot in like the upper back, lower back, like head back thing?
I'll mention it in like 10 seconds. Yeah. So the 911 call, they say, quote, we have a woman. She ran into the lobby. She said she's been shot. She's laying on the floor and there's blood. And the ambulance would arrive 2 minutes later. So it's not that much longer after they call it. The ambulance gets there. And Selena, she gets rushed to Corpus Christi Memorial Hospital, but the damage is already too bad by then. Her right shoulder was shattered and fucked up. She had a tear through one of her lungs, also pierced through her veins and a major artery. So the 911 call was at 11:50 a.m., and at 1:05 p.m., she would be declared dead. Like they tried to give her like a blood transfusion, I think it was. Like they were trying to do all they could, and there's just no chance, no shot.
So she was basically dead, and she fucking ran that far, basically being dead, pretty much.
Yeah, and this is what's fucking scary here. When Selena first ran away after being shot, Yolanda, she ran into the parking lot and like got in her vehicle and was driving around trying to find Selena.
Oh my god.
So it's like she was probably driving around trying to fucking find her to finish her off, you know?
Psycho bitch, dude.
Yeah, that's a fucking scary image.
I wonder what the longest, like, a technical dead person has been alive for. Is Keith Richards still kicking?
I think so. Nikki Sixx, he died once.
Okay, that's gotta be one of those two.
So Yolanda, she would eventually try to drive away, and she would be on the run from the police. Many speculated that maybe she was going to kill more, like maybe she was going to find Selena's family, like because her brother was in the band or her father or something. I don't really know. It was just speculation. They thought maybe she was going to keep on killing. But eventually the police, they would corner her, like she would park her car and they would trap her in, and they would pull their guns out at her and tell her to get out of the car. But Yolanda, she's like screaming and yelling, like it was all an accident. Like the gun just went off, and then she puts a gun up to her own head and started threatening to shoot herself and commit suicide. And she would yell things out like, I can't believe I killed my best friend. And then she would completely change her story, and she would start yelling things like, oh, the gun went off all by itself. Like, I didn't do it. So it's like she keeps telling different stories and shit.
And also kind of like, you know, why did you have a gun in the first place here, you know?
Yeah.
Curry's a bitch.
and aimed at the person.
Yeah. And this was a long standoff. Like, that was during the 4th hour of the standoff. When she started saying the gun went off by itself.
So she probably pissed herself during this.
I hope so.
Okay.
Too bad she didn't pistol herself.
Oh, fuck yeah. Probably a couple little poops going on, though, too.
She wouldn't actually poop it out, though. She would reach in there and just pull it out.
Well, that's how she got her bullets.
And she would act like that. She would act like that was an accident too.
She's like, oh my God, she's dirty Sanchezing herself. So here is a quote from Wiki again. Quote, Saldivar said when she placed the gun to her own head, Selena tried to tell her not to kill herself. This was back in the hotel room. Yolanda's trying to say that the reason she had a gun was because she was going to kill herself. This is another story she tells. So she's changing the story again. She says, quote, she said that when she placed the gun to her own head, Selena tried to tell her not to kill herself. And when Selena opened the door to leave, Yolanda said that she told her to close it. She also said that the gun went off when Selena left. So she's yelling that out, okay, during the standoff.
Yeah.
During the 6th hour of the standoff, she agreed to give herself up, but when she saw a police officer pointing a rifle at her, she panicked, ran back to her truck, picked up the revolver, and pointed it at her head again.
All right.
She's like, okay, I'm coming. She sees a gun. She runs to the truck and puts a gun to her head. So, like, that's pretty fucking redundant.
Fuck, I didn't know the cops had guns. I'm going to shoot my own head off.
She would eventually surrender after more than 9 hours. By then, hundreds of Selena's fans had gathered at the scene. Many wept as police took Yolanda away. A press conference was called within hours of Selena's murder. Yolanda had not yet been named in media reports. Assistant Police Chief Ken Bung and Quintanilla Jr. told the press the possible motive was Selena's intention to terminate Yolanda's employment. So, I don't know if she was fired yet or not then, because I keep seeing conflicting sources. I know you want to talk about the name too, so go ahead.
How do you spell Ken's last name?
B-U-N-G.
Fuck yeah. Cowabunga, dude. Holy shit. He must have, I don't know. It's just him eating, like cow pies, but dung pies. You know what?
Imagine how crazy this scene is, though. A beloved superstar, someone that everyone loved, just got killed, and the person that killed her is in a standoff with the police, and everyone knows where that's going on at. And it's been going on for 9 hours. So there's literally hundreds of people of her fans surrounding her because they know what's going on, where it's going on at.
It was giant in the 90s.
It had to have been such a chaotic scene there. And imagine so many pissed off people. It's crazy.
Imagine your super fan killing you, like Drake killing like Kawhi Leonard or fucking Kevin killing Baker Mayfield. Like, how could anyone even possibly do that?
I know, for real.
Yeah.
And
I like her. Like, she must be really messed up because, like, how do you be like, I love everything this person does. I even dedicate my time to like do a fan group and everything. You know what? I'm gonna kill him. I'm just gonna kill him.
Yeah.
Let's just fucking do it.
That makes sense, you know. I like him so much, I'm just going to kill him.
That's like a stalker thing.
Yeah, it happens a lot, actually. I mean, not a lot, but I mean, there's a lot of times where a stalker or like a super fan is the one that kills them. And in the documentary, during one of the police calls to her in the middle of the standoff, another thing she says is that she was trying to show Selena the gun, telling Selena that she was going to kill herself, and then the gun just somehow went off. So that sounds pretty believable.
Yeah, it sure does.
Yeah.
Eventually, though, she is arrested and then sentenced. And there's a lot of stuff going on with the sentencing. We're not going to get into a ton of detail with that. But during the trial, she would, of course, claim it was an accident and plead not guilty. But she would get convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison with no eligibility for parole for 30 years, which means that, doing the math, she will be eligible for parole on March 30th, 2025. But there's so many people that want her dead. Like, I was reading something, I forget the details, about like gang members who are like trying to raise money so that they could be the ones that like killed her.
I was going to go back to like, imagine like her trying to tell the cops like, I didn't shoot her, I was just trying to commit suicide. And why was the gun pointed at her? I was just showing her that down the barrel you can see the bullet. It's just the gun went off.
Yeah, it's really shit like that.
Yeah.
Here is what it says on the wiki page for it. There were death threats and public calls for vigilante justice. This is when in the jail, actually. Some gang members in Texas were reported to have taken up collections to raise the bond for Yolanda so that they could be the ones to kill her when she was released.
Oh, fuck yes.
The true heroes.
And it would take...
Hashtag Wildman.
Oh my god, these gangsters, these people are murderers and rapists and shit. We're like, fuck yeah.
Hey, we don't know if they've raped. we just know they were gonna kill. #Wildman.
They're serving their time.
And it would take until 2017, 22 years after the murder, for Yolanda to finally confess as to why she had killed Selena and admit that it wasn't an accident. So she denied it up until fucking
2 years ago?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And now I don't have the exact details because the website Hip Latina, they mention that the Univision website, I believe it was, has her confession. They haven't released the audio tape of it, but they have like some of the actual like typed up version of it. They have pieces of it. So I don't know how legit that is. I mean, it sounds good based on looking at it. Part of the transcript states, quote, "She killed her because she wanted to simulate an assault to avoid going to jail, and above all, not to pay her the almost $200,000 she had stolen during her administration of clothing stores and the fan club." So I don't know if she was trying to like stage it or what. I have no idea.
So she murdered her as in to not go to jail. Sounds like a pretty good plan.
So
you know, #Wildwoman.
She owed her like $200,000.
Yeah.
Here's another quote from hiplatina.com. "This is not the first time Yolanda has made claims as to what took place 22 years ago. Last year, she told Univision that Quintanilla was pregnant at the time of the shooting. She's also claiming the prison has violated her rights. What all this says is that Yolanda likes the attention. She should probably be aware that anything she claims to know will be taken with a grain of salt. It's truly hard to believe anything that a murderer says." So yeah, she also said Selena was pregnant when she was killed, which like she wasn't.
I mean, you could definitely fucking tell that, you idiot.
So who knows what she says? She can't believe anything she says. I mean, she's a fucking murderer also. I mean, it's clear as day it was her.
Oh, absolutely.
So
Or I think it was Quesadilla.
that was Selena.
Oh, shit. Quesadilla Jr.
Oh, shit. You don't think that, Jeremiah.
I know.
Now, when it came to Selena's funeral, the numbers were anywhere. I've seen 40,000 listed all the way up to 100,000 members of the public that came to pay their respects.
Was this fucking WrestleMania?
Like, I don't know. I've seen it listed as 40,000, 50, 60, 75. I think they said 75,000 actually signed the book. But
did Shawn Michaels Undertaker main event this shit or what?
No, I think Hulk Hogan just slammed Andre the Giant in front of all these people.
There was even rumors that she was still alive and that wasn't her in the casket. So the family was like, we'll have an open casket to prove that she's really fucking dead. Like, we're not going to make that shit up.
And that was the first casket match.
It was actually the I'm not going to say it. It was gonna be a Katie Vick joke.
Okay, that's
yeah.
tasteful and on topic.
Nobody else
No,
would
it's
get
not.
it.
Katie
Nobody
Vick.
get it besides us and Daniel.
Yeah, say Wildman Daniel will fucking know. Australian Daniel knows.
I kind of wanted to know what the biggest funeral is. Like probably like an open funeral, like Michael Jackson's maybe.
That's a big one. In India in 1969, widely thought to be the largest funeral attendance in history, 15 million people took to the streets of Chennai or something in memory of the former chief minister of Tamil Nadu, a southern Indian state.
Okay.
Oh, one random note here. So Selena, she died on March 31st. Do you know who died just 5 days before that?
Notorious B.I.G.
I will give you a hint. He is mentioned in ICP's Pass Me By.
Chris Benoit.
Negative. Although there is an ICP song titled Chris
I know.
Benoit.
I mean, I know Chris Benoit lives longer than this.
Oh man, I don't know. I'm trying to sing the song in my head real quick, but I don't want to stall for time.
Eazy-E.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, died on March 26, 1995. So we lost two huge names in music in 1 week.
Yeah, I would say one and one mediocre, but all right.
Interestingly enough, Eazy-E probably had a just as big of a Mexican
AIDS.
following too.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just talking about the South LA thing.
Yeah.
But
One was great. One was pretty great. I also probably going to get shot after that one, but yeah, one was great.
In an article published on NBCnews.com, Selena's father expressed mixed feelings about the remembrances and celebrations because Selena was raised, like her family were all Jehovah's Witnesses. And her father said, quote, "As Jehovah's Witnesses, we don't celebrate deaths or birthdays, and we don't want people to think we're behind all the festivities." He said his family has never gotten together and celebrated on the day of the murder of his daughter because there's nothing to celebrate and they remember her every day. But the family says that they are happy to see her fame endures, which is no surprise to those who have chronicled the late singer's popularity. I mean, she was fucking huge, and she just gets even more popular every day.
Yeah, absolutely.
She had a total of 7 number 1 hits. November 3rd, 2017, she was honored with the Hollywood Star on the...
ask that fucking Wildman.
Yeah.
Definitely deserves it, for sure.
Yeah. That Selena movie with Jennifer Lopez, that helped kind of jumpstart Jennifer Lopez's career.
Yeah, she wouldn't have been popular at all without that, really.
Actually, here's a quote from that movie about that movie from CNN.com, actually. Starring as Selena in the 1997 movie of the same name, Jennifer Lopez became the first Latina actress to be paid $1 million for a movie role. She was nominated for a Golden Globe for her performance. And Jennifer Lopez said, "Getting to play the part of Selena was life-changing for me. I got to immerse myself in her life, got to know her family, her home, her culture, every part of her story. It was a special time in my life, both professionally and personally. Playing her not only opened doors for me in the film world, but it inspired me to start my own music career. In a lot of ways, I wouldn't be where I am today if I hadn't had that experience."
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And it really is a good movie. I did like that movie.
Her Facebook page has 3.5 million likes. And in regards to her English album, 1995 English album, Dreaming of You, that would eventually go on to top the Billboard 200 the first week it was released. And there were supposed to be 14 tracks, but they had only recorded 4 of them. So they put together a tribute album of new and old songs, and that is what Nancy Brennan, the vice president of A&R at EMI Records, what they told Texas Monthly. And she also said that making that album was the most difficult thing I ever had to do because we were listening to her voice all day and crying as we were mixing the songs.
Yeah, that'd be tough.
So that's tough. She did say it did make it a little bit easier that we could wipe those tears up with $100 bills. So that eased the pain a little bit.
She said it
helps a little bit.
She said it was so tough to listen to her music while she was mixing up the onions.
While she was mixing up the Paul onions.
Oh shit.
Man.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. I do have a couple more things to mention. Something that's kind of cool. Shortly after Selena's death, George W. Bush, who was the governor of Texas at the time, he announced that her birthday, April 16th, that would be Selena Day.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's pretty awesome.
One thing that pissed me off, at the beginning of the Selena's Killer documentary interview type thingy, Yolanda, she starts off by saying, "They have made me out to be a monster. I just want to say I did not kill Selena. It was an accident, and my conscience is cleared."
Well,
what a
that
fucking
settles
dumb bitch. Yeah. What a
No
piece
need
of
for a
shit.
trial.
Yeah, I hate that bitch. So, alrighty, before we end this episode, we're going to play some clips from our boy John, the Wildman from Queens, and send some good thoughts and prayers over to him. He's going through some shit right now, so we wish him the best. He's always going to be our dude, our hype man, and here you go.
It's the fifth bro, the hype man, the flavor this bitch, motherfucking John the Wild Man from Queens. On a serious note, though, today I just wanted to ask everybody if you can even spare $1, just please go to Patreon and support these guys. You know, Kevin does a lot of fucking hard work behind the scenes, editing, and he's got a full-time fucking job. All the brothers do, and they take the time out to do research and bring you this fucking funny podcast. So if you can just go support them, and even more importantly, I've been trying to help the guys, promote promote and get them into the top 200 of the comedy podcast. So please, even more importantly than, the merch at Threads list or Patreon, leave a 5-star review, please, if you can, if that's, what you feel like doing, and a review. It would mean a lot to the guys.
Dude, fuck yeah.
God damn, do I love him, dude.
That was so nice, dude.
Like, dude, I want to kick myself off and just make this be all about him.
I told him that as soon as we all get our cult started and we all kill ourselves, that it was up to him and Chris from Killer Jobs to continue the podcast.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah. I mean, Daniel and Raven have to be involved as well, I would think.
We got to have Australian Daniel will be on it, Raven, my dad, who will occasionally come in here. My dad's going to come walking in like the fucking dad from Not Another Teen Movie. Where the hell am I?
Dude, what if Andrew shows up?
What's that, too?
I said Andrew finally shows up.
Every episode.
Well, Andrew already told us, so he already said like after at least one of us dies, he'll be back.
Yeah, and he did say his boner would never go down again either.
So I'm just waiting to see if my measles are gonna kill me or not. So
all right, we got it out. All right, we got 2 more, boys.
Fuck yeah.
Would also mean a lot to me, because they did make me honorary 5th bro, and I am their hype man, so that's kind of my only function is to try to help push the show. But it really sells itself, man. They're like, if you give it a try, they're fucking funny, and there's nothing that you can really not laugh at in the fucking podcast. As also on another personal level, I'm a disabled Army veteran, and Kevin, who I've personally befriended, he's been a fucking really supportive dude to me. Has just treated me with the utmost respect, like a friend and like a human being. So, these guys really deserve all the support in the world, and I just wanted to thank them again, as well as the 2 or 3 people I've met through the podcast. I just wanted to give his...
Dude, he's so fucking nice to us. We don't deserve
this.
this.
Oh, God. Dude, that was so touching. I actually appreciate it so much,
John.
John.
I think I might cry here in a second. Goddamn.
Dude, I'm watching the NBA draft, and they're all getting drafted and crying, and I feel like they're just listening to us right now.
Yeah, they really are right now. Like, they all... Like, you know what? Fuck Zion. This should be fucking Wildman from Queens, #1.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Going to the Cavs, bringing us another championship.
I got cut off because I'm not good at these fucking speeches here, but I wanted to give a fucking special mention to another podcaster out there I had met through the brothers, Chris Stanfield over at Killer Jobs. Another fucking, pardon the pun, but killer fucking podcast. Just a no bullshit, no nonsense, straight to the facts, true crime podcast. Honestly, the brothers Commonplace and that, Killer Jobs, best fucking podcasts out there. So if you want serious, you go to Killer Jobs. If you want to fucking laugh your balls off, you come to the Brothers Commonplace. So you know what? You can do both because they're both fucking great. But I just wanted to thank Kevin again, and also shout out to the Green family for Papa Kev getting well and recovering from his surgery. So that's really it for me, guys.
Dude, fuck yeah, thanks, man.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Damn it.
Fuck yeah, Wild Man, damn it, Jesus.
Damn you, Wild Man. Come to us. Come to me.
He fucking overshadows me every time. He's so much better than I am at this.
And I don't want Wild Man from Queens to feel like a stranger either, because we share a lot in common. Like, I myself, and I'm also disabled. It may be mentally, the 1.6 grade point average thing, but I want to let him know that he will always have a home with the brothers.
Fuck yeah,
Fuck
dude.
Yeah, he does. Fuck yeah, he does. Yeah, take a deep breath before we keep going, though. Jesus.
Yeah, I was sending him a message right now. Telling him thanks.
Hey, send him that nude that I sent you.
Okay.
Because you didn't appreciate it.
Well, I'm pretty sure that sock begs to differ, Tim.
Fucking wild, man.
Yeah, alrighty. That's everything from me. You guys, anything you guys want to say before Spence gives us our closing shit?
The only other things I noticed were like how Howard Stern said a bunch of nasty stuff about this, and apparently got in huge trouble for it.
Like,
these were negative reactions.
like he actually was like cool with her dying or something, or.
A few days later, Howard Stern mocked Selena's murder, burial, and mourners and criticized her music.
Oh, wow.
Stern said, "This music does absolutely nothing for me. Alvin and the Chipmunks have more soul."
Jesus Christ.
The fucked thing is,
Well,
she's still more popular being dead than he is now. So really,
If he would have just left it at like her music does nothing for me,
yeah.
then it would have been fine, because I mean, not everyone's gonna like your music, but
Yeah.
then he just had to be a dickhead.
I mean, nobody fucking cares about Howard Stern.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's just his opinion. Opinion's
No.
opinion. I mean, it's hard to take an opinion from a guy who probably has farts on his show daily. I mean, even
Dude.
we're above that.
I mean,
Two.
his movie was fucking Private Parts. That was a fucking terrible movie.
Yeah, that movie sucks. But real quick, too.
But really, Private Parts really probably is the Brothers Commonplace of movies, probably. But still,
I have to address something. The last episode, there was 2 episodes ago, when I asked 2 for words of wisdom, he farted into the mic.
I said he has farts on his show daily. We're not a daily show, so there you go. We're better.
no, you
Or
got
are
a point
We
there.
can't have farts daily.
Actually,
We're a weekly show.
We are, because I am Jon Stewart, and this is The Daily Show.
Oh fuck yeah!
Hey, psych, I'm Ashton Kutcher. Y'all been punked.
Dude, I swear to God, I was going to say that. Fuck yeah.
OJ Simpson. Y'all been juiced.
Oh, my God.
fuck
Wait,
yeah.
is he saying that now?
No, he tried.
That was his show.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I remember now.
No, that's what he said. That's what he said after the murder.
Oh, my God. Y'all been juiced. What if he did?
Wait, the murder of who?
What the fuck? Wait, nah.
Selena?
Wait. What did Tim just flip out about?
I was looking at the draft.
Oh. That one he's like, because he was talking about like
Dude.
OJ murdering somebody. Like, what the fuck? Like, you didn't know?
Did Reddish really go? Did Reddish really go to 10?
Yeah.
I believe it.
Fuck, I liked Reddish.
He's got potential, but I don't know.
I wouldn't really have minded if they took him at 5.
I would have taken him at like later on, but
Yeah, I mean, no, that's gonna stay. But yeah,
alrighty, Spence, you want to hit us with that shit, brother?
Well, thank you all for listening to another episode of the Brothers Commonplace. You should subscribe to our podcast wherever you have found it, because apparently you're listening to it now. So nearby, there should be a subscribe button, whether it's Apple Music or Apple Podcasts. I guess that would be. It used to be called iTunes.
Mm-hmm.
I like Castbox on Android, and we're on YouTube now, which is basically everywhere. And I've been trying to get us to 10,000 YouTube subscribers before the end of the year, and we are at 59.
oh,
Holy
we're fucking
shit.
killing
That's
it.
way more than I thought.
Killing it.
We have added 14 in the last 28 days. So all of you 14 new people, we love you. And we would like you to all bring in another 14 subscribers. And if we can just multiply by 14 every week, basically,
We'll eventually get
very
there.
soon we will just have taken over the entire podcasting space.
Hell yes.
So you heard him, folks. Do your best to draw out pictures of submarines, or as I like to shorten it up, subscribe.
Oh,
man.
Fuck yeah.
Now, if YouTube is not your thing, you should definitely at least leave us a review and a rating on Apple Podcasts, because we are trying to get into the top 200 comedy podcasts on the U.S. charts. We've already taken over several other countries, but the U.S. is really the prize.
Yeah.
You can find us pretty much on all the social medias these days. Like us, follow us, share us, leave us comments. We love feedback. You can email us at brotherscommonplace@gmail.com. I think that's about everything.
yeah, sounds good.
Oh, we have merchandise at, where is that? Threadless?
Threadless.
It's from Threadless.
Yes, I don't know the exact thing. Let me pull it up.
You can get hoodies and coffee mugs and I think butt plugs with our logo, right?
No, I just made that for myself.
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't put that on there.
I was wondering what all the balsa wood was for.
The Brotherscommon.place.threadless.com.
Good stuff.
Nice. I wanted to give a little shout out to someone named Isaiah Miguel,
Yeah.
who commented on our YouTube channel on the Conqueror episode. He says, "I always look forward to Mondays for a new episode. #Wildman."
Oh,
Fuck yeah,
dude.
Hell
He
yeah,
said
man.
that 3 days ago, and I feel like that's a jab at me because I don't think I've got the latest episode up yet, and I'm sorry, but I'm going to try to make sure that happens more frequently.
Well, fuck, in a couple weeks he'll hear this one and he'll be glad to hear his name.
Hell yeah.
So yeah.
Just a special thank you to everyone that has already left us a 5-star review. That really helps us out. It means the absolute world to us. Everyone that is subscribed and is sharing the show with their friends, that is super cool as well. Let's see. Thank you to Kate from the Ignorance Was Bliss podcast. She had me on there the other day, and it was pretty fun. We talked for 4 hours. I think only an hour and a half of it is going to be on the podcast. So in like a week or so when that's up, I'll give you a heads up if you want to check it out. You'll get to know me a little bit. We talk about some stuff. We talk about, let's see, what do we talk about? We talk about some sad shit, loss of family members, why I think so many of us on this podcast have fucked up senses of humor. We ran out of time, but I briefly got to talk about that guy who has a relationship with his car and he like masturbates next to it and stuff. We talked about
you talked about me for a little bit? That's cool.
Yeah, so since you weren't there, you were there in spirit with me, and figured I'd bring you up. But yeah, so
I was there. You just couldn't see me.
So yeah,
I was in the bushes.
So yeah, I'll let you know whenever that episode's up, and you can check it out if you want. I think that's everything from me. Primo.
Actually, yeah, I do have something this week. And the reason why is because it took me forever to think of an opening. Like, I thought of the opening, like, literally when you said we were about to start to the Chris Gaines thing. I mean, I'm glad you laughed at that. I didn't think it was that funny. So I think it'd be kind of funny. Any of our listeners who want to just give me an opening for next week's podcast, if you guys can come up with one. Obviously, you can't use the F word that goes with gay people. You can't really use that word.
Or the N word, which is
or the N word,
which is why we kicked Andrew off the show.
Yeah. Try not to use either of those.
We got one rule.
Yeah. Those are just those two. But think of a really, really funny opening. Give it to me, and if I haven't thought of one, I'll just use that. So yeah, I like that idea.
Oh, also, July is coming up pretty quick. We're going to be in Chicago on the 14th for the podcast convention. So if you listen to the show and you're going to be there, let us know. I'll fucking bring something and give it to you, something cool. If not, then
13th.
The 13th.
Yeah, I know. I need to put
Saturday
my
the 13th.
vacation day in.
Oh,
I
shit.
need to put my vacation day in. I fucking completely forgot. I have to put that in.
Yeah.
We're going to be in Chicago the night of the 12th, though.
Yes, 12 and
is the
13th.
plan. So if you would like to meet up with us anywhere within walking distance of the Marriott, we won't be there. Let me see.
There is a live show I might want to check out if we're going to be around. I'm not sure if we will, but Ignorance Was Bliss is going to have a live show Friday the 12th.
If there's any cuties there, I will kiss you easily.
Oh.
Well, here's what I'm going to add a little bit here. If we have any listeners in Plainfield, we might be able to, I don't know, get a beer with you or something on the night of the 12th while we're there around Chicago.
Nice. And we'll kiss you.
This is for the True Crime Podcast Festival at the Marriott downtown.
Sorry, I was talking to Wildman from Queens.
Oh, okay.
You're good, brother.
Alrighty, Toof, my brother, my boy. You want to hit us with some words of wisdom?
Oh, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Me and Andrew, oh man, we've been kicking our fucking evil side, brother. We're fucking super villains now. We've been doing things out of the podcast you little fuckers wouldn't believe. Evil shit. Anyway.
That's not part of it.
So, we're super villains and everything, and let me tell you about our powers before I get into our names, right? So, usually I'm like the quick, rogue type. Like I'm really fast, and like I'm usually the one who escapes pretty quickly out of things. Like I'm very crafty. But every time like I escape out of a building, I always fall on my knee. You know, like how a cat always falls on its paws. But I always just like fall on my knees, drop to my knees, man. Sucks. Whatever. But hey, that's what the knee pads are for. Andrew, he's kind of like the Incredible Hulk, where he has to get like angry to transform, but he has to commit crimes to do it. But why, you ask? Well, let me tell you about our names. They're Felony and Mr. Meaner. We've never been caught yet, despite our crime names.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, I love
Hell
it. That's
yeah,
good
dude.
shit. That was awesome.
Anything else, guys?
No, I don't think so.
Alrighty. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Be good.
Stay safe.
And laugh at the dark stuff.
Hashtag Wildman.
Hashtag Wildman.
Hashtag congrats, Mark, once again.
Hell yeah. Hashtag thank you, Mark. Hashtag Blump Kids.
Also, hashtag congrats, Kevin.
Oh, thanks, brother. Hell yeah.
That's coming up.
Let's see. Hashtag Last Bandoleros. Keep listening.
Fuck yeah.
If you want to hear him fucking jam out after this at the end, they're our
We're gonna
fucking
jam
boys.
out. They'll steal the show like fucking Wildman does every time.
Yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. Oh, shit. I think that's everything.
Starlight Lounge presents An Evening with the Progressive Box.
Old moon, yeah. That's Hugo, tickling the ivories. He just saved by bundling home and auto with Progressive. Gonna finally buy a ring for that gal of yours, Hugo? Send her my condolences. Hi-oh! This next one's for you two. There's a burglar in my heart. Thank you.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.